This is a horrifying game about the hunt for a serial killer.
Okay.
I accidentally became the serial killer.
He chose the sheep. I did not make him. And so and also I confess that I have been watching far too many of these shows because people, I think I talked to you about this, people who live in the most functional democracies in the world with the best human rights record and the lowest crime rate in the Nordic countries,
Okay.
you're all obsessed with crime and serial killers
Yep.
in your TV.
Yeah.
I don't understand it because there's
Neither do I.
more killing in 2 weeks on one of those shows than there is in the entire country for any one of these for a
Yeah.
year. So
Okay.
I don't know where all the bodies are coming from in the shows because
They're digging them up.
yeah, well, it's all of them too. There's Norwegian shows and Finnish shows, and it's Brun just opened the door for everybody. Brun, right?
Yeah.
Just opened it. Everybody wants to do Brun.
I've always thought they were a bit sort of say bizarre in the setup.
Yeah, well, they almost make it a surrealistic device to be as disgusting as possible.
Yeah. I've noticed. I don't really look at those shows, but I recently saw the Don't Fuck with Cats. And I had no idea what it was, but I liked the title, so I
It's a
clicked
Netflix
it.
show. I haven't clicked it yet. I do see it though.
Yeah. Yes, I like the title, so why not?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good enough reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So okay, excellent. I wanted to therefore say that you can pick your numbers. The numbers will change as we go along.
All right.
And that you will begin with one victim.
Right.
That doesn't mean that your character has not killed more people than that.
But this streak.
But this particular fiction will begin with that one has just occurred.
All right.
Oh, I was thinking about where when you came. I was talking about where. Let's think about some kind of a vacation-oriented spot in Sweden. Now
in Sweden.
Yeah. So what would be, or the Nordic countries, anywhere that you are sort of familiar with or could be. I have an idea, but
the two places I essentially know about vacational spots would either be up north to what do you call them?
Sälen?
Yeah, Sälen, Fjällen, for skiing.
Aha.
And the other one is on the west coast. Why not the west coast?
Yeah, I was there recently, just last year, and so just south of the Norwegian border.
All right.
So I'm familiar with that coastline, which is world famous in the way it looks.
Yeah.
So
lots of rocks.
Yeah. And also a lot of little towns with summer homes or tourist camping, and a lot of communities that have been there for a long time, but also with people going in and out from other places. Okay, now I need to check just a few more rules as you choose. You actually have a little bit more creative work to do than I do at the moment, because your killer really is already in the middle of their own story.
Yeah.
So in many ways, my character kind of comes into the story at this point, so they have less detail to start. You have to make certain psychological choices and things like that I don't. The armchair detective idea that I have is I'd like this character to be. This is probably a classic. I can't think of an example from the books and things, but I bet there are lots of them. Someone who writes mysteries.
Someone who writes mysteries.
Right. However, just so it's not too obvious, I'm not going to make them a serial killer writer, but like these puzzle mysteries,
All right.
But at least they are an author who's famous for these, probably has some popular books. The important thing about the armchair detective is that for them it's very personal. Something has happened, probably to somebody close to them, or somebody that they had some connection to, and they're really motivated. we're going to write down a couple of things that about our characters that are just details that uh, can that will help us when we are playing. We will be taking turns to pick scenes, and then you choose what kind of scene it is. And some of them require certain other scenes to happen first or after. So I'm going to double check these things.
Is one scene connected to another? It's like if you have one scene fast, then the other one have to happen in the.
It depends on the fiction of the moment.
Okay.
Sometimes it makes sense to say, well, if you just finished that, well, obviously the next scene has to be this, and it feeds right into the very same spot.
Okay.
Other times there's a big break, a big jump in place.
Yeah.
It's just completely open to that interpretation.
Okay.
Sometimes the two characters will actually be in the same scene, and you would run 2 or 3 of these through the course of that action. Okay. It's possible.
So a lot can happen.
Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, it looks kind of mechanical. This is a personal scene. This happens. The scene is over.
Yeah.
Okay, next scene. Well, this is a manipulation scene, and this is what happens, and it's over. You know, that feels like it can be very mechanical, but in practice, if you remember, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. So. Hard to pick something?
Yes, it is. These.
Maybe he or she has several vehicles?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Do you want to... Okay, go ahead. What kind of house do they live in, or apartment, or anything like that?
I was thinking out on, to say, the countryside.
You should write that down.
All right.
Yeah, it could even just describe the countryside itself, the rocky coast, or something like that.
Always go and have a coffee after his murder, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, straight into Starbucks and...
Yeah, 1 coffee, please.
When we roll on this thing,
Mm-hmm.
it is just to set up the next scene.
All right.
Whereas the roll to resolve what is happening, that's a different roll.
All right.
And does not involve the diagram. We just roll dice. What do you do with the bodies? So you will write down the question, and then you choose to answer it.
I know what I would do.
And what would that be?
I would dissolve them.
Ooh, that takes some time.
Well, he's a plumber. He has the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the equipment.
Yeah. And
but
you're out in the forest. And probably got a basement.
Oh yeah, that's if you bring them back all the way.
Up to you. Okay, are you going to answer, or are you going to leave us to wonder?
I'm not going to answer.
Okay, we get to wonder. All right, then. So here we are going to take a look. What is your obsession? What level? What number? Oh, that is mine.
That's
mine
yours.
is 4. Okay. And then my stability is 5. And my conscience is 3. And then what is your compulsion?
3.
Mm-hmm. Cunning?
5.
Mm-hmm.
2.
2. Okay. So let's look a little bit at our story and the atmosphere that things will be as we think about the world we are seeing.
All right.
The way we play. For one thing, it's a little gray, but it is not gloomy or horrific. So it's past cloudy, but not yet gloomy. So it is just very gray.
All right.
All the time. The photographer feels that way. Or the season is like that when you're filming it, or something like that. Now, how stable is society? This is not us, this is society. Society is nice and content. People go to their jobs, they feel the system is working, they
nice.
behave in this nice touristy area. The tourists come, the tourists go. They give lots of money, the business develops a new patio for its outside. It's lots of contentment. Conscience, however, indifferent. People really don't care that much about being honest, and it's kind of past the middle. So it's not yet really a criminal society yet where everybody is running around like that, but it's a society where people are not really caring about right and wrong.
If you see someone steal a car, it's not your problem.
Right.
But hey, everyone's content, so.
It is also a generous society. I think we are talking about a place where people are willing to do each other favors. People are willing to, give a loan. People get their loans when they go to the bank. People.
Why am I starting to feel like this population is brainwashed?
Yeah, it has that kind of feel, doesn't it? And then finally, it is a white collar situation, which means we are talking about workplaces, and most of the places we will set scenes are places where people are not doing labor, they are doing services and professional tasks and kind of a little more high income.
All right.
Not really, but way up there, but in that zone.
All right.
And then finally, control. The society, like the police and the justice system and everything like that, is extremely good. Just one step away from being the best it could possibly be.
All right.
So we are looking at a very orderly, very profitable.
China.
Yeah. Well, again though, yeah, we are looking at very orderly, very profitable, a little bit amoral, and comfortable, and again, kind of higher end business class workplaces and situations. So now, of course, everybody needs a plumber.
Yeah.
But that's the environment we are working in. Okay.
Yeah.
As our numbers change, so do these.
All right.